So dropshipping has made teenagers multi-millionaires, and you've probably seen it on YouTube, TikTok. Loads of teenagers or people in their early 20s make lots of money with the dropshipping business model. But what they're not telling you are the terrifying truths about dropshipping as a business model and a fulfillment method. Now, the reason why I know that is because I've been doing dropshipping since 2017, and I've achieved way over $10 million in revenue with my dropshipping stores. So the harsh reality is I've experienced every single one of those terrifying issues that you will face if you don't watch this video. So let's talk about what are the profit margins in dropshipping, because too many people get caught up with these flashy screenshots or screen previews, but how much of that is really profit that they take home? Typical profit margins within dropshipping are around about 15% to 30%. So if you see a flashy screenshot of somebody doing $1 million a month, they're making roughly between 100,000 and 200,000. Now, some people might not even make any profit, and that's the terrifying truth. They're just breaking even, showing you some really flashy screenshots, which isn't great. Now, profit margins come solely down to your CPA, which stands for cost per acquisition. How much are you paying to acquire a customer to buy your product? Are you running Facebook ads? Are you running Google ads? That's what we call paid advertising. Now, with paid advertising, your CPA will always be higher because you're on a bid system. So let's say, for example, your profit margin is $30, but it costs you $15 to acquire that customer. You're left with $15. Then you've got to take out your transaction fees, which is around about 2.4%. Then you're going to deduct your taxes. So you're left with around about, let's say, $7 to $5. So by doing those types of mathematics, you can see where your profit margins can start to go around. Now, organic marketing with TikTok and Instagram Reels went viral, blew up. I took advantage of it back in 2020. I've even got case studies on this channel of us achieving around about $3 million, and the profit margins for TikTok organic are a lot higher because you're not running any ads, you're not bidding, you're just creating content and uploading it on TikTok accounts. And your profit margins, if you're running organic traffic, is around about 40 to 70% on average, which is a lot more. Now, the sad, terrifying truth is you can get money locked on PayPal, you can get money locked on Stripe, you can get money locked on Shopify. They can be held in accounts up to 90 days. Listen to me, 90 days. Imagine you generating $100,000 and your money is stuck in a payment gateway and you can't get it out, and you've got bills to pay like product costs, advertising costs. How do you truly manage paying those bills? Now, if that is scaring you, then unfortunately that is just the truth, and I experience this all the time. Now, there is a way around this, but for most beginners, it's not feasible because of how expensive it is and how technical it is. So the best way to avoid payment holds and manage cash flow are: make sure you're updating tracking numbers, make sure you're selling solid products, make sure your customers are happy and you're communicating with them on email or live chat, because if your customers get worried, they're gonna file chargebacks. And if your chargeback gets over 1%, listen to what I'm saying, if your chargeback rate goes over 1%, any payment gateway can shut you down or hold your money for a long period of time. Now, when it comes to managing cash flow, I have apps on Shopify that are completely free, like Be Profit. Now, Be Profit will show me how much money I'm making on my store. It won't just show me how much I'm spending, it will show me how much money I'm making, and it is a free app. I'm not sponsored by them in this video. I'm telling you because I use it all the time. Now, if you're doing some really big numbers like 100K a month, 50K a month, $1 million a month, you should really not be using things like Stripe or Shopify payments or anything like PayPal, because the way these payment gateways work, they're actually against you, not with you. So you have to use a private gateway. And this is something very advanced that I won't be speaking about in this video, but I'll make a follow-up video about it. So the first thing that I want to mention is your supply chain and your logistics. Now, this is truly the backbone to your dropshipping business. Remember, I look at dropshipping as a fulfillment method, not as a business, because dropshipping is technically e-commerce, but you're using the dropshipping fulfillment method to actually get the products to your customer. Now, what you have to understand is there's different tiers of dropshipping. You can do dropshipping where you're ordering a product one per time. So let's say somebody comes to your website, they place an order on Shopify, then you fulfill the order. Now, that type of dropshipping typically finds the most issues and has the most terrifying moments. Now, if you're sourcing your products from, let's say, AliExpress or CJ Dropshipping, all of these popular Chinese dropshipping suppliers that cater for one product dropshipping, well, the terrifying truth is, and I'm going to give you a real example now that I've experienced that was terrifying. As soon as you start seeing success with your product and you're getting loads of orders, you're going to come into one of these issues.
Número 1.
The quality might be terrible.
Número 2.
The consistency might might be terrible.
Número 3.
They will not be sending out the right item for the right customer. So if a customer wants a yellow product, but you send them a red product, that's a big issue. So before you even work with one of these suppliers, you need to contact them saying, how many have you got in stock? What are you doing when you're selling variant items like different colors and different sizes? What's your refund policy? What's your return policy? And how do you get held accountable if you mess up, not if I mess up? Because most of the times the supplier messes up, your customer doesn't mess up, or you don't mess up, your supplier messes up, and they try putting all the blame onto you. Now, when I start drop shipping, I still use the same method as you guys, one product drop shipping, but I only use it for the first 1 to 2 weeks. And as soon as I start getting between 5 and 15 sales a week, then I start working with an agent and start getting faster shipping times, and then buying the product in bulk and sending it to fulfillment centers. You want to try and get through that different tier system with managing as much risk as possible. Because remember, there's more risk involved because you're having to buy in bulk, but you need to make sure that you do put your foot on the pedal and you start taking risks. I see way too many dropshippers feel too scared to buying in bulk because they're thinking, what if I don't sell it? And they're thinking, I'm going to lose money. But if you have that mindset, it's only going to ruin you more long term. Now, this kind of transitions into my next point, which is you want to start a dropshipping business with building a brand in mind. Now, dropshipping is so beautiful because you can test as many products as you can out, meaning that once you find that product that does so well for you, you want to build it into a brand. So let's say you find a phone case that does really, really well. Then you want to start thinking about committing to building that into, let's say, an iPhone accessory brand shop. You want to slowly transition, once you find that winning product, into building a brand. And that means white labeling the product. That means building custom products. That means getting logistics like fulfillment centers built so that you're building a brand that has brand equity. Because brand equity is what truly will make you rich in e-commerce, because you've got to think about customer lifetime value, which means how long does that customer spend with you as a client? Because if they just come to your store and buy from you once, have a terrible experience, never buy from you again, then you're going to lose in this business. Now, this next section has to be one of the most brutal moments of owning a dropshipping business, and that is ad fatigue. So let's say you're running ads on Facebook, you're running ads on Google, you're running ads on TikTok, you're going to get ad fatigue. Now, ad fatigue comes in loads of different formats. Your ads being banned, your ads being disabled. 1 month I'm making really good money, the next month it's like, what do I do? It's just a break even again, so technically the last month isn't worth anything. Now, when it comes to ad fatigue, it's all about recognizing fatigue very early on, because if you let fatigue carry on for too long, then it will completely wipe you out. Now, my best recommendation when it comes to running ads, make sure you got a company set up, because you can get your business manager verified. Make sure you've got an agency account. Now, there is a cost barrier when it comes to agency accounts, but if it's not in your affordability or you're not quite there yet, just run a normal account, but make sure you verify everything. Make sure you're using clean pixels. Make sure you're using clean ad accounts. Now, when I say clean, I mean they're brand new for each product. And if you run products on those ad accounts and you're just not seeing much traffic, much engagement, much click-through rate, it could be because of ad account fatigue. So if your ad account is showing fatigue, get a new ad account, get a new pixel. Do not wish any more time on them. Now, something else that you have to bear in mind is copycats and rip-offs. So when you start dropshipping a product straight away, you're not going to get your own unique content from your product. You're going to go online, rip somebody's video off, edit it slightly, and then run it as an ad. Now, this isn't good for anyone. It's not good for you, and it's not good for the other advertiser. This is where problems become a domino effect, and it ruins things for everyone. Over time, you're just going to fatigue your own accounts. You're going to fatigue yourself and other people. Now, I know all of you guys that are watching this are capable of making your own videos, or at least getting your own videos created for having better performance. So most dropshippers don't really put any real value in the marketplace. They're just corrupting the marketplace with just the same old, and it's just really poorly done. And this never really gets solved because more people become a dropshipper and they just get into this whole copying community where you're ripping somebody else off, they're ripping you off, and then you're ripping them off. And it's just a very, very terrifying circle and a very vicious circle where everyone's copying everyone. And all it does is it just damages the marketplace for everyone. So if you're watching this and you really want to be successful with dropshipping and not experience anything terrifying, you need to learn to do things in your own thought. Now, there's nothing wrong with watching a YouTube video about how to run Facebook ads or how to create a store, but don't just copy and paste. Learn to adapt a little bit, learn to add something else to it. Now with the whole ChatGPT around, everyone's just using it and copying it. Learn to add your own stuff to your product. Learn to add value to your business. Don't expect to make really good life-changing money if you're adding nothing new to the marketplace.